Good morning and welcome to Yewtree Fisheries here on the Wirral. Today I'm here on the small lake at Yewtree and I'm going to be fishing the pole tight up against the island to try and catch a mixed bag of fish. It's now mid-November, so the temperatures are plummeting slowly. It's around 10 degrees today, but it has been quite cold over the last week, so it's going to be a little bit tough, but we still should catch. I'm quite confident today. I'm going to run through the rigs a little bit later on as usual, and we'll go through the baits and hopefully we'll catch some nice fish today. So stay tuned in and I hope you enjoy the video. So what baits am I using today? Well, I'm here at Yewtree fishing for a mixed bag, so I've got a big variety of baits. I've got maggots, which are the classic hook bait for any fishing all year round, so I've got some maggots with me and they're doing the trick at the minute. I've got some sweet corn, which is a nice bright visual bait that'll hopefully draw the fish in, and it has been doing so far. My other hook baits consist of Miracle Baits soft hooking pellets. They're absolutely brilliant. I take a tub everywhere I go, every day's fishing. I take a tub of these in the 4mm size and they'll catch everything. And then I've got some expander pellets which I pumped when I arrived in the 4mm size as well. Now I've got the soft hookers and the expanders because the expanders are a little bit softer than the soft hookers. The soft hookers are soft but not as soft as the expanders. I'm sure you know what I mean. And then to feed, I've got some micro pellets down here, and I'm also fishing with some Sonu Baits krill soft hooking pellets, and that's just to add a little bit of a variety of bait in, a little bit of a different flavour. So I've got those krill pellets there. They're my main baits. I've mixed a bit of Miracle Baits pellet crumb today, just to put in small little tiny little tiny balls that are fitting in my cad pot. Every so often I just drop one of them in, mix in some maggots and corn into that ball, and it just adds a little nugget of bait into there with everything that I'm fishing. So it really does help to keep the fish and home them in one concentrated area. I'm fishing across to the island today in two swims, one at the tip of the island and one straight out in front of me. So fishing so far has been quite hard, but I'm going to carry on now. These maggots seem to be doing the trick, so stay tuned in and let's have a little look how the baits are performing. I started my session off by cupping in one very small nugget of Miracle Baits pellet crumb ground bait over on my far line tight against the island. I fed maggots and micro pellets loosely on my second line, which was on the tip of the island. In the first half an hour I managed 3 carp on the Miracle Baits soft hooker pellets tight up against the island reeds in about 3 foot of water. Just after those 3 carp, the swim started to dry up and the only bites I could get were off small silverfish when I was fishing with maggots. Unfortunately today my cameraman wasn't able to join me on the bank. I had to do all the filming myself, so I apologise if there's less action in this video than in other videos. The fishing was very hard today and the fish did not come consistently. I was catching a few fish here and there before lines were drying up and I had to make little changes. As you can see here, small silverfish are coming to the net. Okay, so I've been fishing for around 2 hours now. I'm here for around 3.5 hours today and it's been quite hard so far. I've decided now I'll just take a little break and take you through the rigs, so let's have a look. Okay, so we'll start with the rig that I've been using the least really today. I set this rig up at the point of the island at the start and I had a few silverfish on it early on. Then it died off and we started to get a little bit of movement on the water over there, and the conditions just got worse progressively and I haven't been able to fish that swim again. Now it's started to get really hard on both lines and I haven't been managing to get any fish or any bites at all. So I've changed this rig to a different swim, which is literally about 4 meters out in front, where I'm going to target the silvers in the last hour. On this rig I've got a 9 hollow elastic. I've changed all my elastics on my top kits for the winter, and my 2 11 hollows have now gone to 9 hollows, so I've just brought them down a little bit and it's working perfectly. I've got a Matrix 4-gram float on this rig with a round body just to make it sit a bit firmer in the water, and I'm fishing in these the open water swims which I've been using this rig in. helps to stabilise the float, having a round body. Now then I've got a bulk of number 9 shots. I've got a bulk of number 9 shots there, and that's around a foot away from the hook. This rig's a 4 foot rig. I've got a number 9 dropper, another number 9 dropper, and then number 12 to finish the rig off, just so that last little part of the rig is sitting nice and still, and we've got a little bit of weight up to stabilise the line out there. The hook length is 0.10 diameter, which comes out at about £2, and the main line is 0.12 diameter, so that's about £3. So quite a light rig. We've got a 9 hollow, the elastic complements the line strength, a little 18 hook, and I'm going to concentrate in this last hour or so now, trying to pick up a few silvers short on this rig. Now the other rig I'm using today, this rig's set up tight against the island over there, and this has been the most productive rig so far. Again, a 9 hollow elastic, a Preston 9 hollow, very nice elastic, very soft and forgiving. Then I've got a pencil float here, a handmade pencil float from Roger Bunn. That's got 2 silicone rubbers on it. This is a 3 foot rig, and that goes to a bulk of number 9s, once again a smaller bulk this time, about 10 inches away from the hook, and a number 12 dropper there just above the hook length. It's again an 0.10 hook length to an 18 hook, and an 0.12 main line, both on puller kits. And this sort of setup, you need a nice balanced setup when you're fishing, especially in the winter, and this light line definitely complements the elastic as an hollow number 9 elastic. So if you've got any queries about what elastics and what lines to use on commercials as it gets colder, 0.12, 0.10, 0.8 diameter lines for mixed fishing. As long as you've got a nice soft elastic to go with it, you shouldn't lose any fish, and you should be able to present your bait in the best possible manner. So I'm going to carry on fishing now. I've just fed a little bit of Miracle Bait's ground bait over on the far line. I'm going to carry on fishing. I'm going to throw a few maggots short, which I have been doing for a few minutes now. I'm going to try and get a few silvers there, just so I can add a few fish to the net, and hopefully we'll get a little bit of footage of me catching some fish. I'll catch you in a minute. I'm going to have my first little look on the short line now, just see if there's any silvers in the swim. And there we have it, a lovely roach off the short line. Winter sport on the short line, just with maggots, and we're getting some cracking roach like this. It does pay off to make a change. As expected, my short line soon dried up and the silvers became scarce. With 10 minutes of my session to go, I decided I would try one last time on my long line up against the island. I was slightly confused when I managed to hook 3 fish, but all of them I lost. I couldn't work out what was going on. Eventually, I managed to hook a fish properly and the elastic poured out my pole. This wasn't a carp, I could tell, but I was a bit puzzled as to what was on the end. The 9 hollow elastic worked perfectly throughout the day, absorbing every lunge of each fish, from the smallest silver to the biggest carp of the day. This fish was no exception. It put up a great fight on the light elastic. Eventually, a lovely perch graced my net. Such a plump fish, and what a way to end the session. As you can see, a lovely plump little perch here. Let's try and get that fin up to the camera. There he is. A lovely, plump, fat perch caught on the maggot. Let's get him in the net. Overall then, it's been a hard few hours fishing. I've had about 3 hours fishing. This is the result. We've got plenty of roach and rudd, a few carp, a few perch, including a nice chubby one. And for a hard, cold day's fishing, I don't think I've done too badly. Fairly pleased with the result. Probably got about 10 pound of fish there, mainly silvers, a few eyed as well. You need to scale your rigs right down, light lines. I probably could have gone a little bit lighter today, but I'm happy with the result, as I've said. So I challenge you to get out on the bank this winter. Don't pack your gear away. Face the weather, face the cold, and have some cracking winter fishing. Let's put these fish back.